It was built really because Fort Worth was missing that kind of cornerstone performing arts center for the symphony and the opera and the ballet and the Clyburn. That was the one. A lot of shows used to perform at the Coliseum, the convention center, and really for Fort Worth to revitalize the downtown and really kind of bring in that culture, it didn't have that cornerstone building. So the land was donated. All the money was privately raised, so there was no public money for the building of the building. So it was built with private funds, and it really has become that cornerstone for the performing arts in Fort Worth. On any given month, you could have a Broadway tour that we would present, and then the next week you could have a symphonic show, and then the next week you could have an opera performance, or the ballet could be in doing the Nutcracker. So it really is, we kind of look at it as the heartbeat of the performing arts culture for Fort Worth. We actually do have a couple of team members on our hospitality services team that used to work at Caravan of Dreams, and they're now with us, and they made the transition over. And having talked to them, very much so, there was that void of kind of a multi-purpose arts venue that because on any given night we could have Robert Earl Keen here, he comes every year, and then literally 2 days later the symphony's in the building for a symphonic New Year's Eve show. And so I think you're absolutely right, there was a void of, and if you're attracting new, younger people, and especially from a business chamber of commerce standpoint, you need a thriving arts center and a community in order to attract new people. That's how cities thrive and continue to grow. I think it's huge, and of course the tagline is like Cowboys and culture for the city. And I think from where I sit, that's probably the culture side is still the one area that is got all the room for growth. I think outside of Dallas-Fort Worth, when people hear Fort Worth, they immediately think the cowboy side. And that's great, and that brings in the tourist dollars. I think people outside of Fort Worth, we still have some education to do, that there's a whole lot of culture here. And beyond just our building, you have all the museum district and some great museums. But I do think there's still some work to be done.